Tonight, turn down the noise of the day and focus on the rest with AGZ, the nightly drink for winding down and resting up. New from AG1. AGZ supports your body's natural sleep cycle with clinically studied key herbs, adaptogens, and minerals in amounts supported by research. And no melatonin, helping you wake feeling rested. Wind down, rest up with AGZ. Learn more at drinkagz.com.
Good night, itchy eyes. Good night, sudden sneeze. Good night to your symptoms of allergies. Zysol is the allergy medicine you take before bed. It provides powerful relief while you rest your head. Not just all night, but all the next day. Zysol keeps working, keeping allergies at bay. And without those annoying symptoms disturbing your rest, you can wake up the next morning feeling your absolute best. Remember, be wise all. Take Zysol. At night.
This episode is brought to you by FXX and Hulu. An all-new season of Futurama is back, blending heartfelt moments with razor-sharp humor while accidentally saving the day. The Planet Express crew is back, defying gravity and common sense. From the creator of The Simpsons comes 10 new episodes, where the romance is hotter, the threats are bigger, and the action hits harder. Don't miss the all-new season of Futurama. Watch it Mondays on FXX or stream it on Hulu.
You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid!
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by two really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to?
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valves, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic, echographic, and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent of Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease. So I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve.
From the world-famous Cardiff Electric Network studios in beautiful downtown OJ City, it's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider, gives me street cred with the whack of alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
And Lady Di-Agnosis.
Hello, Dr. Steve.
Not only back from sabbatical, but here, on a regular basis again. Thank you. This is a show for people who would never listen to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call, 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine and at DrScottWM and at Lady Di-Agnosis. Follow our website at drsteve.com for podcast, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we're not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking it over with your healthcare provider. All right. Don't forget stuff.drsteve.com. That's stuff.drsteve.com. And there you can get not only Wet Brain, the card game, but you can get DABBLEDICE, the game of splats and livers. Well, the game of beer, disequilibrium, and livers. And it comes
That's not intriguing.
No, I know. It's a bunch of dice in a nice box, and it's a party game. And you need to collect 13 beers from your listeners who are sending them to you via DoorDash while you're live streaming. And
nice.
You got to collect 13 beers before you destroy your liver.
Ooh.
So it's a fun game. And
Challenge accepted.
And it's $10. So, I mean, come on.
That's crazy talk.
Yep. It says, let me see, the dice throwing party game taking the Dabbleverse by storm, but Prior Dabbleverse knowledge is not required. And it's fun for dabblers of all ages as long as they're 18 or older. Always drink responsibly, unlike certain people. So anyway, $10. Go to stuff.drsteve.com. Or if you want to read about it, it's I'll put the link in the description, but it's dabblegames.myshopify.com. So I'll just put the link in there.
I'll say that's a
That'll make
mouthful,
Yeah.
great birthday gift if you knew anyone with a birthday.
Yeah, it would
That'd
if
be
that
great.
person didn't already have 500 of the fucking things.
Oh.
Was that all that was done there? I thought there was about 1,000.
It's 500.
It just looked like 1,000.
It's crazy. Well, anyway.
You don't want to run out, Scott.
No.
That's true. You got a good point.
No, I'll be throwing these things out at any live events I go to. But yeah, $10 plus shipping, that's a good deal. And it's fun.
Shipping's probably more than the $10.
And we'll autograph it or whatever.
Oh,
if you
wow.
want, or whatever. Oh, and Dr. Scott, Simply Herbals.
Yep.
His website, simplyherbals.net. You're still in business, right?
We are, yes, sir.
Have you decided to stay in business yet? Or what?
No, we haven't decided to stay in business, but we're at least through the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're still there.
So you can get
your
the
sinus
CBD nasal spray and those fatigue reprieve and all that stuff.
Yep.
That was GVAC's favorite thing. Of course, he expired. So I'm sure there was no association between your
expired.
Yeah, but no, he did. He's deceased.
Correct.
Yeah, but we have these. We have poor fella.
The birthday joy.
Yeah.
Is the expression.
Well, he would
Let it roll.
He would find that funny. I'm going to give you these stickers and we'll autograph these and you can throw them in. You know, when you place an order
thank
with
you.
Dr. Scott, you get these tchotchkes, and now we've got these really nice Weird Medicine stickers.
Those are beautiful.
Scott and I will, after the show, autograph all of them, and if you place an order, it will end up in your order somewhere, probably folded up and crumpled because Scott is not good at this. But
Don't blame that on me. I've got an office
Now.
manager that screws it up.
Now,
boys, let's get along.
we have. Shut up. We have. Good Lord. Some lady literal over there. Speaking of lady literal, no sense of humor, Not Cupcake sends in a super chat, $5. Thank you, my friend. Says Lady Di-Agnosis, she with the perfect TTGR. And that is still true.
Grazie.
But we can't mention it anymore because it's 2025. So thank you, Not Cupcakes.
And
you can.
And the Dream Finder came in there too.
Yep, a Dream Finder, $199. Happy birthday!
Oh,
yay! My birthday is why I didn't get to go to Detroit this weekend to go to the WATP live event and hang out with my buddies Carl and Chris and Andy and Lucy and also Dave Landau. But that's okay. And Jenny Jingles, of course, on whom I performed a complimentary pap smear.
Oh.
And by complimentary, I mean, damn, girl, that thing looking good.
There we go.
That was one of my roast jokes.
Oh, wow.
Might as well recycle it.
Yeah, thank God.
All right.
It is your birthday.
Yep. So, and Not Cupcake says, Ann Patrick, was Melton in Detroit? Oh, no one cares about OJ. I didn't know OJ was there either. So, all right. Yes, I would have hung out with all of the above. All right. Well, what do we got? I do have a news story.
Oh, cool.
Yay.
This is a big one. This is from the Journal of the American Medical Association, so not some shite.
Yeah.
Not Facebook.
No, not some shite, open access, cheapo, journal that's in business just to make money. This is the actual journal of record of the AMA, which I'm not a member of the AMA, but this is, being published in JAMA is a big deal. So this is preliminary communication, not a, regular article. Single treatment of MM120, aka lysergide, in generalized anxiety disorder. So this is pharmaceutical grade LSD. And it's lysergide D-tartrate. So the question was, does it demonstrate dose-dependent efficacy in adults with moderate to severe generalized anxiety disorder? So this is a phase 2B multicenter randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study. So it's a good study.
We love those.
Yes. And phase 2B means that this is being done by a pharmaceutical company looking to bring this to market. So phase 1, you do like 30 people, just make sure that they all don't drop dead. Then phase 2, you do maybe 300 people, and you're looking for adverse events and some efficacy data. In other words, does it work? And then you'll go to phase 3, which could be 30,000 people, and then phase 4 is post-marketing. So phase 3 would be the data that you would bring to the FDA. Then if they approve it, then you go into phase 4 as your drug hits the market. And when you start treating millions of people, that's when you see the really rare side effects come up. And so that's kind of how that works. Well, anyway, this is phase 2B, multi-center, randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study, and 4 dose levels of MM120. It included 198 adults with generalized anxiety disorder. So the primary outcome was a change in the Hamilton Anxiety Rating Scale score. And so this is just a validated instrument where you're looking at anxiety levels. People answer questions and you get a number at the end. And so what they're looking for is statistically significant decline in that anxiety level. And so their findings supported the selection of 100 micrograms of MM120 as the optimal dose for pivotal clinical trials. So in other words, going forward, they're advocating that they use 100 micrograms as the dose that they want to bring to the FDA. So what they did, participants were randomized to receive a single treatment dose with 25 microgram, 50, 100, 200, or a placebo. And the primary outcome was dose-response relationship. And so the results showed, let's see here. Oh, come on. Give the actual results, not the demographics in this section.
How do you measure efficacy of anxiety?
Well, they do that Hamilton anxiety score. So what it is you do it. It's a questionnaire, and you fill it out beforehand, and then you fill it out afterward. I'm doing a study on anxiety in the chemotherapy suite using virtual reality. So we have a placebo, which is they don't get anything. And then we have a control, which is just a beach scene in virtual reality. And then we have an active intervention, which is the TRIP app.
Okay.
And then people will do this Hamilton anxiety scale before and after, and you're looking for a statistically significant drop. And so is it just VR? Does it work at all, first off? Right. And if it does, is it just the VR, or does the TRIP app have some extra efficacy that just VR by itself doesn't have?
Cool.
So that's how you do that.
Okay.
That's really the only way we have to do it.
And so it's just self-diagnosed or whatever.
Right, self-reported.
Reported.
Right. So they said the most common adverse events were visual perceptual changes. No, really? Visual hallucinations, which occurred in 46.2% of the participants who relieved 25 mics, 75% who got 50 mics, and 92% who got 100 mics. So if the 100 mics is brought to market, 9 out of 10 people are going to be tripping balls with this, right?
Yep.
So you'll have to do this in the doctor's office. That's how they'll do this. And they did a single dose, And then they looked at people's response, and for 2 weeks they had improvement in their generalized anxiety disorder. That's as long as they looked at them.
After only one dose?
After one dose.
Oh, wow.
They gave them a single dose. That's something.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. So,
And
again...
it's different from LSD, how it's just
it isn't
managed.
different.
Okay.
It's just pharmaceutical, and it's, LSD is lysergic acid diethylamide, and this is lysergide D-tartrate. So this is a tartaric acid, salt of lysergide. So I don't know how it's different. They're not giving the chemical properties of it, whether it is, truly LSD or not. But it is. If it's not, it's a very close relative. Let's look that up. Let's just ask, is lysergide D-tartrate the same as LSD? Because, let me see. Okay, here's a Wikipedia. This will be good enough. No, it's not good enough.
Because if the layperson reads that journal and they are just, how people Google and they'll think, well, if I just do LSD, I'll be better.
Right.
So that could happen.
We're gonna take a question about that in a minute about this self-treatment stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. It says lysergide D-tartrate is simply a more stable salt form of lysergic acid diethylamide. So it is LSD.
Okay.
But it's in a tartrate salt, which apparently makes it more stable. But so this will be very interesting because, I've talked about this before. In my opinion, Timothy Leary did us a big disservice. And it wasn't just him, but he was one of the most, visible. They did a study. Sandoz was making pharmaceutical grade psilocybin for treatment, for clinical trials. And one of the studies they did was they got a whole bunch of people in a church and dosed them up with psilocybin. And then the researchers went, well, hell, we'll just do some too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they sat there and tripped with all these people and then, wrote it up as a clinical trial.
Oh, my.
And so that's when Timothy Leary and other people were saying, tune in, drop out, trip out, whatever the hell, whatever the thing was that they were saying back then. I was there, but I don't remember. But they were basically saying, yeah, these drugs are good to do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were self-medicating, and some people were just doing it just to trip and, attain different levels of consciousness and stuff. And what Congress saw, who were funding these studies, is a bunch of quote-unquote dirty hippies going, ooh, I'm tripping balls, man, and people jumping off buildings and stuff. And a lot of myths came up about this stuff, about how dangerous it was, and people were having bad behaviors and things like that, which were unbelievably rare, but still some bad things did happen. Mm-hmm. So they just went, fuck this. The Democrats and the Republicans both at that time were very socially conservative, and they were like, nope, no more tax dollars going to this. So they cut off all the research, and it's just now coming back. We should have had these drugs. I mean, all we've had is serotonin
SSRI,
reuptake inhibitors, and the dopamine receptor drug bupropion, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
Diet and exercise.
Yep.
So for depression, we could have had these other drugs. So now we have ketamine. We do have that. Mm-hmm. And it has its pluses and minuses. And then now, we may have some other psychedelic type therapy. Psilocybin clinical trials are going on. And if they just take one methyl group and attach it to the molecule and say it doesn't do anything, it doesn't change anything, now they can patent it and they can charge a shitload.
Charge a fortune.
What comes to mind when you picture the perfect roommate? One who comes when you call, one who doesn't forget to lock the doors, maybe one who doesn't steal your milk just a little bit at a time, hoping that you won't notice. At Apartments.com, they understand that when it comes to roommates, a pet can be your best bet. They're easygoing, they eat what you serve them, and they never clog the toilet. And that's why Apartments.com has the most pet-friendly rental listings on the internet. And with instant alerts, you'll know the moment that your perfect pet-friendly place becomes available. Apartments.com has so many features like 3D virtual tours, the ability to save your favorite apartments, and with over 1 million places to rent, you are absolutely going to find the right place for you. Apartments.com knows that moving can be stressful, but by giving you options, filtered searches, and more, they can help take away some of that stress. When I need a new apartment, I will definitely need a pet-friendly choice. So if you guys need a place that's pet-friendly and human-tolerant, check out Apartments.com, the place to find your pet-friendly place. Thanks, Apartments.com, for sponsoring the podcast.
This episode is brought to you by ESPN. Catch the first WWE Premium Live event on ESPN, WrestlePalooza, live on Saturday, September 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be an epic night in Indianapolis, featuring some of the biggest WWE superstars. This event is only on ESPN, so go to stream.espn.com and sign up to the ESPN app today for your all-access pass to WrestlePalooza and all WWE Premium Live events.
That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance redefined.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Prices and participation may vary.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Because anxiety and depression is like the biggest problem in America, I would guess.
Yeah, I
everyone
mean,
has
it's why Xanax and Prozac are two of the most prescribed drugs. That and the PPIs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You know, we're all running around depressed, anxious, and with reflux.
And now Wegovy.
Well, and of course,
fat.
Well, but
yeah, and fat, right? And fat.
I think the number one prescribed
obeso-Americans
of all is the statins are the number one prescription in the United States, I think. But I think right after that, probably after that are SSRIs and I saw some doc was talking about we all should be taking Ozempic of some form. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, there are reasons for that, though. What did they say?
Yeah.
Well, hell, I didn't know. I didn't listen. When I heard everybody needs to be on that.
Oh, no, you should listen. You got to listen to the other side.
I'm curious
you can't
why.
understand them.
Yes. I don't know what his thought process was, but to say everybody needs...
I think he was being... They used to say we should put statins in the water supply. I mean, he's being hyperbolic.
Mm-hmm.
But
you assume.
But it turns out that these classes of drugs may have anti-cancer properties and may also prevent heart attack and stroke.
That's what I was wondering,
and
so that's all the guy that he was talking about. He was being hyperbolic.
Yes. Or...
Yeah, statins, frequently cited top category. Metabolic agents, high cholesterol and diabetes, very common. Well, that's statins again. And then, interesting. Yeah, minerals and electrolytes, levothyroxine.
Levothyroxine's ahead of...
Yeah, I'm surprised ahead of... now, this is the AI telling this, so this may not be absolutely true, but I'm using it as the search agent. So, But, that's interesting. I would have thought that Prozac and PPIs
PPIs for sure.
PPIs aren't even listed on here. Anyway. Well, I think a lot of that changed as far as prescriptions because now you can buy them over the
counter. That could be. Yeah. That could be.
Well, there were a lot of us that were not in favor of putting even Zantac and Tagamet and all that stuff on the market because, our protocol was you treat people for 6 weeks, and then if they don't get better, then you get them scoped. And, at that time, we weren't really thinking of GERD as being a chronic disease or chronic condition. And if you put this stuff on the market, people would just take it every day and ignore symptoms. And we were worried that stomach cancers would be missed and that kind of stuff. And it really there hasn't been a huge epidemic of stomach cancer that I'm aware of just because people are able to buy these things over the counter. So there may even be less Barrett's esophagus because people are taking PPIs that otherwise wouldn't have complained. They would have just taken Tums or whatever.
Sure.
So
could be
Barrett's esophagus being a metaplasia, or in other words, change from one type of cell to another type of cell in the esophagus that can lead to cancer. So anyway.
Those stats that you give, are those worldwide or just the United States?
I've just asked for United States.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Where are we? We were talking about LSD.
We're dripping. We're all over the place.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll keep you informed on the news like that. All right. You ready to take some questions?
Let's do it.
Sir.
All right. First thing.
Number one thing, don't take advice from some asshole on the radio.
Thank you, my friend. All right. And of course.
Hi, Dr. Steve. It's Tom from Michigan.
Hey, Tom.
This is a topic I'm sure you've covered several times.
Well,
but my question is...
Let me tell you this. After 20-some, however many years we've been doing this, it's hard to find something we haven't covered, but there are a few things.
Every once in a while we get surprised.
It's about vasectomies.
Oh, vasectomy.
I am scheduled to get one here in about 12 days.
Excellent.
I am apprehensive because I know a guy who had some serious complications from his. Ended up losing a testicle. They nicked a nerve in the process of going in there and mopping up some of the work that they did. He was in some pretty rough shape for a while. I've also learned that there's been possible links to prostate cancer and Alzheimer's from the vasectomies. I was wondering if you had an opinion on them and if any of that research has been poo-pooed or if it is something to consider prior to letting some strange man fondle my balls. Thank you, Dr. Steve.
A strange man.
Well, hopefully he's not too strange.
Hopefully he's a doctor at least.
Let me fondle your balls there, little buddy.
Here I come.
That would be a strange man. Anyway, there is a relationship between vasectomy and cancer risk that has been a subject of ongoing research. So there was a study that showed a small but statistically significant increased risk of prostate cancer in men who've undergone vasectomy. The relative risk was considered in that study to be 1.1, meaning that vasectomized men are 10% more likely to develop prostate cancer than non-vasectomized men. But if this is very difficult because if you take 100 people my age who die from something other than prostate cancer, and then you biopsy their prostates after they're dead, about half of them will have prostate cancer.
Yep.
So this is very difficult. The increased risk is limited to low-grade prostate cancers, which almost kill nobody. And the reasons for it were maybe increased inflammation in the prostate. And also, though, more frequent PSA testing, which may detect more low-grade cancers. So it may be bullshit. What was the other risk that he was worried about?
Alzheimer's.
Oh, Alzheimer's.
I think he said.
Yeah, now that is one that I'm not aware of. And as far as I know, there was a study in 2006 that found that men with a history of vasectomy were more likely to develop a rare form of dementia called primary progressive aphasia. But that study was limited and has never been replicated, and not very many people believe it. But based on all the evidence that's out there right now, there's no reason to believe vasectomy increases the risk of Alzheimer's disease. But, studies are ongoing.
Sure.
Now, as far as the complication rate, it's generally very low. Infection 1%, that'd be 1 in 100. Blood clot 1 in 100. We had double vasectomy Todd on this show. He had a complication where he had a spermatocele, so he had like a third testicle. It was one of the first questions I ever answered on Weird Medicine. I didn't realize it was him when I was in when P.A. John and I were in New York for our first show. But yeah, some people will get the sperm granuloma, which is a small painless lump. So 1% of people, less than 1% will get chronic pain, and then less than 1% will get sperm still present. So this nicking of the nerve, that's hard to do if you're doing this thing using a standard procedure. I don't understand how this happened with
unless
maybe
this poor soul's had a odd nerve in an odd place.
Yeah.
And when they're making the incision, they just didn't expect it to be there.
I guess.
That's all I can imagine.
Was it a urologist that did this, or was it a family medicine person? The no scalpel vasectomy is kind of a joke because they go, they don't use a scalpel, so most
hand me them scissors.
Right, but that's exactly what it is. There you go, Dr. Scott.
Give thyself a bell.
Oh my gosh.
They use scissors with that. One side of the scissor has a razor's edge.
Gotcha.
And they go in and that's the scalpel. So technically there's no scalpel, but they're still cutting your scrotum.
Yep.
But it is a very easy procedure to do. You get the person in what we call a dorsal lithotomy position, which is basically the pap smear position with your legs akimbo and your feet up in the stirrups. And you just identify the scrotum, which hopefully you can do.
not too challenging.
And you use your fingers to kind of tease out the vas deferens, which is the tube going from the testicle up into the body that carries sperm up into the body to mix with the fluid from the prostate and the seminal vesicles to make an ejaculation that is capable of impregnating somebody, which we very often forget that's the purpose of intercourse, just in case anybody was confused about that. So you put your finger behind the scrotum and use your thumb to identify the vas, and when you do that, you're moving all the other structures out of the way.
Right.
And it's just right there. And it's all prepped and everything. And you numb it with some numbing medication, which goes actually into the vas. So it feels like you're getting kicked in the nuts just for a second, and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's a heavy pressure feeling.
Yeah. And then, they just open up the scrotum, identify the vas, use whatever technique it is that you're going to cut it and redouble it and burn it and do all that stuff. And then you just go on to the next one.
That's crazy.
It's how you lose a testicle and you nick a nerve at the same time. I don't know how that happened.
That's tough.
Wow. Anyway, I wasn't there, so... And we're just going based on what he said. But anyway, that is your friend. Just don't go to that doctor.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Okay. And ask somebody. It's always okay to ask when you're going to go have a medical procedure. What's your complication rate? What's your success rate? And they have to tell you, and they have to be honest about it. Because if they lie about it and something bad happens, bad things can happen. So do that. And honestly, you should be fine. Your friend's results should not be reflected in your results. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Let's do another one here.
Hi, Dr. Steve.
Hey.
Can you talk about the Valsalva maneuver where you breathe into a needle and they put your feet up in the air and kind of tilt your head way back to slow down your heart rate?
Yeah.
That shit is wild. And
yes,
how does it actually work?
Yeah.
How does that help? I mean,
it's crazy.
You would think it would freak you out.
The valve.
Cause your heart to beat even faster. All right, thanks. Bye.
It's the Valsalva maneuver. So you've done a Valsalva maneuver 1 million times in your life. It's where you take a deep breath and you hold it, and then you bear down like you're having a bowel movement, and that increases the pressure in the chest cavity, and then you release it all at once. And we will do this back in the day, particularly for people with supraventricular tachycardia, which is a specific type of arrhythmia of the heart. And it increases the tone of the vagus nerve, which slows the heart rate and prolongs what we call the refractory period of the AV node that controls the heart rate. And it controls it controls heart rate. And when you do that, you can stop this sort of circus rhythm around the heart, because that's what's going on with supraventricular tachycardia is the electrical impulses have gone mad. And when you slow down that refractory period, that signal comes back going, okay, fire again, but it's not ready, and it just stops. It's like putting up a wall.
Helps reset the heartbeat,
Scott said it a lot simpler way than
Thank you, Dr. Scott.
Sorry,
But it is effective, I don't know, probably 40-50% of the time. I've done it when I was in training. The other thing that we would do was the ice water bath, which stimulates the diving reflex, which does the same thing. You got somebody with SVT and you go, well, while we're waiting for the medicine, you want to try something? And they're like, okay, I'm going to shove your face in a bucket of ice water. Are you okay with that? Sure. Why not? And you do that, you just leave them in there as long as they can stand it, holding their breath. And when they come up, about 40 to 50% of the time, their SVT will stop, because that stimulates that vagal nerve again and resets the heart rate. And what it's really doing is the same thing that whales do when they dive. They have the same reflex, and they stimulate that vagus nerve. Their heart rate slows down, their metabolism slows down.
And penguins.
I guess penguins, same way.
Aww.
Sure enough.
Probably seals, too.
Probably, yep.
Anyway, all right. Very
stuff.
good. Well, thanks, everybody. We will be back soon. Thanks always to Dr. Scott, Lady Di-Agnosis, everyone who's made this show happen over the years. Many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website at drsteve.com for schedules, podcasts, and other crap. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps, quit smoking, get off your asses, get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.